What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of your favorite show, the number one live streaming show that I host, Creating Daily. So welcome to this episode. I'm going to be joined here in a few moments by my friend Sid Meadows. Some of you guys may have known him from Creating Daily or maybe from some other fun stuff that he does, but probably the most famous show he's ever been on is this one, so he's going to be back. He used to be a co-host. I don't know what happened to him. He took the summer off, spent some time on a yacht somewhere. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to talk about how he took some breaks. Did he tell his audience, or did he just ghost them like he did me? I hope not. I hope he told them, but we're going to find out his process, and we're just going to catch up. We're going to have fun. Sid and I go way back, at least a couple of years, and yeah, anyway, so we're going to have a lot of fun. But before we do, I want to shout out some cool things going on in the creator community that you need to know about. And the first thing is, if you are, maybe you're like me, maybe you have some knowledge up here that people ask you about all the time, but you don't really have a coaching program or whatever, I want you to go check out this app right here called Owl. So this is the Owl app. This is a friend of ours, Jason, created this, and it's basically where you as an expert can get on the app and get paid to do phone calls with people. So if you have people like Sid who just want to call you and pick your brain all the time, then you say, hey, Sid, why don't you jump on the app? Why don't you pay me X amount of dollars per minute, and I can help you as much as you want to. Anyway, it's a really cool app. I just got back on there. It's been a hot minute since I've been on there. And so if you are looking to make some money as a content creator, or an expert, this is a really cool way to do that. And then on the flip side, if you are looking for advice, so if you want podcasting advice, live streaming advice, financial advice, there's all kinds, there's over I think 1,000 owls on there who can help you. And there's, so anyway, yeah, over 1,000 people on there right now. And it's still early stages. So go to owwll.app and use the code BT614503, and that will give you $10. It'll give me $10 to use on the Owl app, so we can call each other and whatever. So they give you a little credit, but go to that website, but don't use the code on the website. Use my code. That way I can get $10 too. All right, cool. Now let's jump over here to another event going on right in September. So it's 31 days away. This is People of Video. My friend Dan Courier, who was on the show just a week or so ago, or 2 weeks ago now, is going to be putting this event on in Albany, New York. So be sure to go check that out. And I left in some places a link that you can click on. It's an Eventbrite link, and you can save $100 on a ticket. So it's my link. I don't make any commission. I don't make any money off of it. That was an option, but I said, hey, why don't you get the full discount, $100 to my audience. And if you're in the Albany area and you want to get a People of Video, be sure to click on that link, buy a ticket, save $100. So there you go. And without further ado, I guess I should bring my friend Sid on so we can start chatting about what's going on. And if you're on Clubhouse, if you have any questions, you can come up and talk to us, chat with us, all that fun stuff. All right, so let's go over here, bring Sid up. Sid, what's going on, my friend? How are you?
What's up, Billy? It's good to see you, man. You've lost more weight since I saw you, got a new haircut, and you're growing a beard since I saw you last.
I mean, that is very generous of you to call this a beard. I would not. I would call it forgetfulness, but okay. Maybe I'll let it grow. Maybe I'll do what was it called, a yeared, when you like don't shave for a year and just see what happens.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Never heard of that before. That's some made up term that I'm sure you made up.
Yeah. Anyway, guys over at Bullhorn told me about it. Bullhorn, check it out. Anyway, I was going to shout those guys out anyhow. But they just sent me this awesome Yeti mug, so I got to show it off and share it. Yeah, man. So I lost 65 pounds. I don't know where I put it, but it's gone. I'm not gonna go find it. From just changing diet, man. I've been doing high. Let's see. How do I say this politically so nobody gets ticked off? What is it? High fat, low carb, also known as keto.
Mm-hmm. It worked, obviously. I mean, you lost 65 pounds, so there's nothing to be sad about there, right? Now, bacon, the real challenge.
This body's brought to you by bacon.
Ooh, maybe I need to rethink the keto diet.
They call me Bacon Bill. They don't call me Bacon Bill for nothing.
Oh, my goodness, dude. It's been a minute. I'm glad to be back. So what are we doing today, friend?
Man, we're just hanging out, Sid. I know you have been I know you've been doing those private yacht trips all summer, so I wanted to just hang out with you, get to know you again, man. 1 minute you're on my show every week, the next minute you're just up in dust. I don't know what happened to you.
Well, I think we need to set the record straight here. We had agreed to a cycle where I was going to be a co-host on Fridays, I believe. And then you decided to move, and then you decided to change your schedule around. And then you basically decided to throw me to the curb. So it's honestly not my fault that I haven't been here as a co-host, because you made those decisions.
That's true. That's true. And I did not include you or Katie into those decisions. I just made
obviously.
Them, so.
Yeah, obviously. And then, hey, you know what? The real loser in this is your audience, because they don't get the ability to actually hang out with real creators. I
mean, wait a second. Look who got their green screen to work. Huh? Should I roll back the film? I record pre-episode conversations, so I roll back the film where you're struggling to get your green screen to stay up. Where's your green screen, Sid? Huh?
It's down here on the floor because there was a technical challenge with my green screen. It obviously is broken and it wouldn't stay up. So, I mean, it is what it is, man.
Did you pull the lever? That lever says pull here. Did you just pull that? Usually that works.
To the audience real quick. This harassment. I mean, what the heck? All this harassment. I mean, you invited me on the show today to beef up your ratings because your ratings have been slipping a little bit. You needed a big pick me up. And now all you're doing is trashing me. I don't get it, dude.
I know, man. I know. I'm rude. I'm a rude host.
I'm glad you said that.
Maybe we should do a show called How Not to Be a Rude Host. And then you could...
Featuring the one and only Billy Thorpe.
Well, I don't know anything about it because I'm the rude host. Man, I tell you what, though, I think the last show we did together, I was still in Puerto Rico.
You were?
A few things have improved. One, my studio. Two, my internet by a long shot. So I'm pretty excited about that. However, there still is a wall behind me with children behind it. And it just so happened they walked in right as we were going live. So if you hear a little ruckus, whatever, it's still better than all the sirens and all the reggaeton music blaring into my office all day long in Puerto Rico. I miss Puerto Rico. I miss the people of Puerto Rico. I'll say that. So anyway, so yeah, man, it was good. So yeah, and I got a standing desk. Now I'm just trying to figure out what to do while standing because I figured out how to sit pretty well, but now what do you do? I don't stand a lot, so it's kind of awkward.
Move around a little bit. You could do some stretches, lift up, dancing, obviously. Yeah, you could do some of that too.
So Sid, you are doing several different projects right now. One is Journey Club, which I don't think anyone on this show has ever heard about.
Sure.
And then two, you are still doing your podcasts about your furniture business and helping and talking to furniture industry pros. And you've pushed pause on both of them or just one of them? What did the summer look like for you when you?
So it's a great question, actually, Billy. And the summers are always a usual time when you're a consultant and a coach because a lot of your customers take time off. They go off and do things. And so
blame it on your customers.
I know. Absolutely.
I love it.
But it's been a really busy summer. And we did this summer have the opportunity as a family to go on some trips and to do some things that just only come up once or so in a lifetime. So, we did get to go on a family trip to the Sea of Cortez and sail on a private yacht. We were invited as guests of some other people to go on this trip. It was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
The coolest part about that was total disconnection. No
Oh,
internet, no phone service. Once we got to La Paz, Mexico, which is where the boat left from, about an hour once we left, we did not have cell phone service or internet service for 4 days. And I just got to tell you, man, it was fantastic
it was
to be
good. You
disconnected.
liked it?
Yeah, it was
Wow.
so relaxing, right? And to just be able to watch the sun rise, watch the sun set, hang out on the water, to just be with our family and our friends. And I mean, it was spectacular. It's a once in a lifetime trip. We'll probably never get to do that again, but thoroughly enjoyed it.
White guy summer right there, ladies and gentlemen. Rich white
That's
guy.
rude.
Rich
That's
rich
rude.
Texas white guy right there. No, I love it,
So,
man.
but
I'm glad
But
you
my kids have both
enjoyed
been
it.
home. Oh, thank you. My kids have both been home this summer, and taking care of them and doing what they needed to be done, and all that kind of stuff. My daughter had surgery during the summer, and those kinds of things. So it's been a busy summer, and I'm grateful that things slowed down a little bit to allow me to pay attention to some more important things in my life, including my family. So that's been really good. But you asked a question about my podcast, and so I guess since we talked last, Billy, my first and original podcast called The Trend Report, which is the one that focuses on people that manufacture, distribute, and sell office furniture. We crossed the 100 episode mark, which is a fantastic accomplishment. As a podcaster, you understand the importance of that number. And
there you go, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah,
There you go.
thank you.
Yep.
So
It's good.
that's been going really good. Actually, recorded 2 episodes today, so it's going strong.
Oh, so you're back in the seat. You're back in the saddle.
That one I never left.
You
We
never
kept that
left.
one moving. Yeah, that one we kept
Oh.
moving forward.
Oh.
And it's the one that's monetized, that's got a sponsor and those kinds of things. So we kept that one pushing
I was
forward.
curious. I'm like, I know that was sponsored. Like, there's no way you're
Yeah.
hitting the pause button on your bank account. Come on.
Yeah, no, but what we did is we adjusted the scheduling of it, because the first 6 months of the year for me have been unbelievably busy. Several new projects, several new customers, and I mean, I could hardly see straight during the first 6 months of the year. And so we changed our publishing schedule from every week to every other week in
Oh.
order to allow me to do some of the things that I needed to do. And it's worked out great. And, we could talk podcasting all day long, but, there's lots of things that we did that have helped our downloads, helped our email open rates, and things of that nature that really has up leveled that show. And then our primary sponsor changed their category of sponsorship, meaning which one of their business units was sponsoring it. So we just changed the sponsor over this past week, but it's going really well, man. I'm excited about it.
Man, so when you went to every other week versus every week, did you see? I mean, I guess you probably saw an uptick in downloads, or was it the same? Just like doubled on those days, like, or do you think that helped you? Do you think your audience was like, "Oh, cool, I'm going to listen to every episode now," versus whatever? Like, what did you see there, or have you seen much of a difference?
So it's a really interesting question, because in the first, it's a very niche down podcast, right? Talks to people that sell, manufacture, distribute, and sell office furniture, right? So super niche. We get about 200 to 250 downloads per episode. And we've been really consistent with that for well over a year. Okay. Which is great. It means we have a loyal audience. And then when we switched to every other week, we told them we were switching. We told them why, give them an update, so what we're doing. And the downloads didn't change. That didn't change. But what did change, Billy, was the average number of listens per week. And what I mean by that is yesterday, I think I got an email. Maybe it was the day before. I don't remember now. About how many listens happened during the course of the week. And prior to the shift to every other week, we would get that email that said, your podcast received 150 downloads this week. And what that means, it's not just one episode. It means that, it's all a bunch of episodes. It tells me which one got this many, which one got this many. Well, we're in a we're in an off week this week, right? And so the email said we got 503 downloads. So what that means is that the listeners are taking the gap week and they're going back and listening to older episodes that maybe they didn't get to listen to, or it means new people are discovering the show, which is also really, really good.
Yeah, man, I love this conversation because I think a lot of times as podcasters, especially being weekly, like, my show, my fishing podcast is weekly. However, we kind of curb some of that time commitment because we are batch recording, we are live to drive, we are doing several shortcuts, for lack of a better term, to make sure we're not having to show up every single week in the studio, doing the thing, doing all that. And so I think it's cool to hear that experience because, we've been thinking about in the winter months when fishing isn't this, fishing's all year round here, but it's not necessarily the hot topic. And we do see a dip in downloads and a dip in stuff. So we may, do something like that, do bi-weekly or do every other episode, something special, something different. So that's cool to hear that someone who's been doing it for the same amount of time as us, that you are seeing people go back and listen to that back catalog and that your audience is enjoying that back, because there's a lot of value in those things. And I don't get to sorry, kids back here, I don't get to listen to every single episode of every single podcast, and I do that as well. Like if I notice there's not a new one this week, or they say, hey, I'm gonna take a little hiatus for a few weeks, I'm like, cool, I'll go listen to the back, to that back catalog. So man, you talked about a little bit about your email engagement. I know you and I have kind of briefly talked about it as we've talked here and there, but what is that? What have you been doing to one, like get that email list going and then get it fired up and get it active?
So we average about 2 to 3 people that go onto our email list a week, which is really good. There's not a lot of things on my website at the moment for you to go download. It's people that are going there intentionally to join the email list. But what we did do about 4 months ago, right at the beginning of the summer, we took our email list, which had about 2,000 people on it, and we made a decision to scrub it. And I mean, we scrubbed it. So we looked at if you had never opened an email, if you had opened and never clicked, and we just removed people. We removed 1,500 people from our email list. So now we have an email list, Billy, that has about 600 people on it. Okay. Roughly. And we send an email on Tuesday mornings at 9:00 the week the episode launches. That's the only email that we send. So we send 2 emails a month. Our open rates have gone to 60 to 65%, which is fantastic, right? Yeah. I was shocked when we got the report for the first one. And our click-through rates have gone from 2 to 3% to 3 to 5%. And we have 2 links in the episode, in the email. The first link is to my website to listen to the episode if you want to listen to it on the embedded player on the website. And the second is a link to my sponsor's landing page about their newsletter, their Monday newsletter. Okay. And so our click-through is 3 to 5%, but I'm actually really, really proud of that because we know that most people are not listening on the website. Mm-hmm. Most people are listening on Apple and then Spotify second. So the link is there if they want to go listen to it, but I'm not necessarily measuring if it were 20% of that would be great, but I know that's not where they're listening. But with an open rate of 60+%, it means that they are an engaged community. They want to know what's coming on the podcast this week, and they're looking forward to listening. So I think that's also helping our download numbers.
Yeah, man. I love it, dude. I think scrubbing your email is cool.
What the heck?
I love it. I think it's so cool.
Oh my gosh. Future's bright, my friend.
Sorry, I was just getting Chad. I had to get Chad on. Chad loved that. But dude, I do think that's a good point, because sometimes we just build these numbers, and I talk about this stuff all the time because people are like, "Oh, how do you monetize?" I'm like, it's not the quantity of your audience or your communities, but it's the quality of it. Like, what's the quality? And once you can dial in that quality and not be afraid to go delete 1,500 emails that just signed up for something they don't, maybe use, maybe didn't, they didn't really connect, but to funnel them, for lack of a better term, down to be your core audience, that is like a one, for sponsorship opportunities, then two, for building product for your community or building product for your audience. And I think it's really important for podcasters to really think about that. It's like, dude, I hear all the time, like, what's the two questions we get asked every day of my life? How do I grow my audience? And then how do I make money? And it's like, you niche down and you don't be afraid. It might be for some people listening or watching this that you go, okay, I don't want to go after everybody. I want to make some people mad. Like, I want people to unfollow me because I know those aren't really my people. And so I love it that you said, like, sorry, you're not getting my email list anymore. And if they want to come back, then they'll go, wait a second. Why did you delete me? I'm going to come back. So, man, I love that. I love that strategy. And
it worked, right? Cool. And it was, listen, when I was talking to my assistant about it, admittedly, I was freaking out a little bit. I'm like, oh my gosh. And she said, you really want to delete all these people? And I said, yes, I want to delete them.
Did you delete them? Or did you what?
We
put them in this file?
No, they're still in our system. We unsubscribed them, but we can't, the way the system is set up though, we can't do anything with them. They're just there.
Yeah.
Right. We can't resubscribe them. They have to do it. We can't send an email to them. So we might as well have deleted them, but I mean, it worked because what it was able to do, and is what I can say to sponsors, is we have an engaged community. Look at the consistency of the open rates of our email since we made this change are 60+% every time we send an email. So that actually, it validates that it was the right decision, because Billy, I don't want to email someone that doesn't want to hear from us. I don't want to talk to somebody that doesn't want to, hear from us. I don't want to tell you about my podcast if you don't care about it.
Yeah.
So if you don't unsubscribe, that's great, but you're opening the emails, which is mean you're reading it. And we are very intentional about this. I know that all the email gurus out there will tell you different versions, but we are an above the scroll email.
Above the scroll? What does that mean?
So above the fold, above the scroll.
Oh, so, above the fold. Okay.
Above the fold, right?
No one's above the scroll. No one.
Well, so you have to do about, in our emails, you have to do about a half a scroll.
Okay.
To get to read our entire email, right? And my attention span on these kinds of things is really, really short, and I hate it when I get an email that I subscribe to the content from the creator, and I have to scroll and then scroll and then scroll and then scroll to see the entire email. I hate that. So they're short, they're concise. It gives you a recap of the conversation. It tells you who the guest is, and it tells you to listen in to enjoy this, to listen into this conversation at this link. And that's it.
You know who my favorite emails that I get? Because, once again, I think as podcasters, as live streamers, as creators, as email marketers, as affiliate marketing, we got to kind of look around and see what do we like to consume. And my favorite emails in the world to get are sticker mule emails. They're short, they're sweet, they're to the point. They're a sticker company that makes a bunch of stickers.
Oh, sticker. Okay, sorry, you're like confusing me. What did you talk about? Okay, sticker.
Sticker mule. And now I don't use them. I actually have a partnership with a sticker company of my own through my own promotion stuff. But I love their emails, man. They're super short, to the point. They're like 3 or 4 lines. It's like, hey, we got some stickers on sale. Here's the price. Click the link. Go. All right, thanks. Bye. And so I think a lot of times I do get other emails that are just like, dude, I don't want to read a sales pitch, which maybe it's just me, maybe it's just my, industry or whatever, but I like it. You keep it above the fold or the little half scroll thing.
Yep.
Short and simple. That's good, man. That's good. So, were you retooling all this, like, kind of in this summertime break? Is that what you're doing? Like, kind of revamping your processes and all that?
No, we actually we refined them. Let's put it that way. We refined them. We did make some changes in getting ahead on the recordings and, the timing of when we send the guest the episode to listen to and those kinds of things. So we're recorded through the month of September as of today. So we'll record next week for at least one episode for October. So we've gotten ahead, which is always a great place to be, right?
Yeah.
And then with the editor, the way we've set up our workflow, if you will, is that the episode has to be fully ready to go, website ready, everything by the Wednesday prior to the episode launch on Monday. Okay. And then that gives me the opportunity to listen to it. I get a notice that it's ready. I go listen to it. And then once I listen to it and everything is okay and there's no changes, then I forward the website link to the guest for the guest to listen to as well. So we refined that process a little bit, but most of what I've been doing over the summer has not been related to this podcast, but been related to other things that I've been working on, which has been great to have some time to actually flesh some things out, if you will.
All right, man. Well, that was a perfect segue into what you've been working on. What is new in the world of Sid Meadows that we should learn about? What is this Journey Club, and what is this all about?
Yeah, so let me answer another question first, and then we'll talk about the Journey Club. So you asked me about the Amazing Entrepreneurs Club podcast.
Answer whatever questions I ask you, Sid. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, all of you watching the live stream and listening on Clubhouse, it's been great to be here with you today. I'm going to exit stage left because my friend Billy's being a jerk.
Sid's like, I'll answer that question after I ask myself a question and answer it. I love that. That's a great interview tactic. I'm going to have to steal that one. You know what, host? I don't like that question. You asked me about a question a long time ago on another podcast. I want to answer again. All right. Anyway, what about Amazing Entrepreneurs? What are you doing there?
If you were an expert interviewer, you would understand these.
Dude, I'm not. I'm the first to admit I am not.
Listen to you. So, the Amazing Entrepreneurs Club is my passion project, and I mean, I'm an entrepreneur. You're an entrepreneur, and I love the concept of that show, and I love what it's been able to do. It needs a little bit of rebranding. I think a little bit of changing of some of the framework of the show in order to create more engagement and to draw sponsors. So I put it on pause. I'm not certain, Billy, of when I'm going to bring it back. I want to bring it back, but it may be completely different. I may just leave it on the table as it is with 25 episodes and create another podcast. So, and I did something last week. I probably won't get accepted to it, but I just did it for the heck of it, right? Just to see, because this has been lingering out here about what do I do with it and what do I want it to become. So I actually took and applied for the HubSpot Creator Program, which is podcast specific. And so I kind of outlined what the show was about, that it was on a hiatus, what the purpose of it was. And I don't know how many creators they're selecting, but they're paying creators, they're monetizing through advertisement and stuff like that, and providing marketing and teams and resources to really help your show get off the ground. So I thought, what the heck, I'll apply for it and see what happens. And in the meantime, I'm still pondering the future of that show.
That's awesome. Well, if I had one critique about that show, Sid, I would say it needs more of you, man. I think you have so much business acumen. You've been running companies, multi-million-dollar companies, coaching multi-million-dollar companies. And so sometimes the show just needs a little bit more of the host. Just going to put that out there.
That's really interesting. I appreciate that, Billy, very much so. And you know what I think is interesting about this?
You get one nice thing, a show, and that was it. So take it and put it in your pocket.
Okay, we can end it now. I got my one nice thing. We can end it now. But, I've personally never been a fan of solo episodes. I don't feel that my energy is right. I don't feel like it's as engaging. I've got a script outline in front of me. It just doesn't feel as natural. Now, what's interesting about that is I get amazing feedback from people on my solo episodes. So you might have a point. Maybe I need to turn it into more of a solo show than an interview show.
Man, I keep coaching you this good. I'm going to have to send you an invoice, Sid.
I'll do exactly with that invoice what you've done with mine, which is put it in, what do they call it? File 13 is what they call it.
Put it right here. I got a bunch of them. That's what I put all my invoices. Not just yours, every one of them. Water company, mortgage, they all go right in that same one.
That's where they go. File 13 right there.
File 13, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, man, and I think too, it's like, and not only for you, but for other people that are listening to this that are maybe in the same boat. Like I was on Clubhouse earlier and someone was saying like, yeah, I'm just kind of bored with my show. I'm like, cool, do something different. Like you don't have to overthink it. Just do something different. Like, do 5 solo episodes where you're not having the pressure to, bring on guests and all that stuff. I mean, I know from doing this show, I think this is episode like 55 or 56 or maybe somewhere in the 50s. I haven't published every one of them. And man, there's days I'm like, wow, people do this all the time. Like they just bring people on and do all the research, and it's a lot of work, but there's a lot of value inside your own brain as a host. And I think that's, really in your situation, but in a lot of host situations, they know a lot of stuff that they could easily share and take all that pressure off. Because it's good to have a solo show, man. Let the audience get to know you a little bit. Take your hair down, Sid. Take your hair down. Do a little dance.
What little bit I got.
And just do a live stream, man. Your energy will have to be up, because if not, then people will be like,
well, if you're the example of good energy on a live stream, I should probably go watch some more YouTube videos.
You probably should. You should probably try to get sponsored by Red Bull.
Well, it's interesting because I have been actually yesterday kind of really try to finalize my content calendar, Billy, and the types of content that I wanted to create over the next, let's call it the next 2 months, right? Do a little bit of test and see what happens. And I got my calendar all mapped out of what it is I want to do. I'm pulling it up so I can look at it. So, just kind of changing it up a little bit to provide as much value as I can and to show up in places that I think are appropriate. What I mean by appropriate is places where my clients are, or my potential clients are, or places where I can have the most impact. So kind of got that scheduled out a little bit. I'm going to do some testing for about the next 8 weeks and see what happens.
Yeah, man. I think that's a thing too, man. I've been on the testing game with Amazon Live, because it's still in my wheelhouse as a creator. It's still being a creator. It's still live streaming. It's still creating videos. It's still doing all that. And so I've been in like a 90-day test. So I think I just passed 60 days, like yesterday actually was my 60 days, and seeing pretty amazing results. And now it's the last 30 days. It's kind of like, okay, now what am I going to do to long term? How do I plan this long term? So, all right, man. So we talked about your 2 podcasts that you're doing. Now I'm going to ask you for the 3rd time on this show, and you better not deflect. What is Journey Club? Please tell us about it. Please, I beg of thee.
So, as you know, I took in February, I took a break from Clubhouse, from being an everyday Clubhouse creator with the Amazing Entrepreneurs Club. And I took a step back and looking at my business and, working with some coaches and really trying to understand what it is that I wanted to do in this type of space. And, through some of that, Billy, what I came up with was, you've heard me say this before, even before I started the Journey Club. It's not easy being an entrepreneur. It's an up and down road. They tell you it's super paved and straight up, and it's not. It's full of peaks and valleys. It's also, for a lot of us, a very lonely journey because we don't necessarily have a team of people around us. We don't necessarily have family and friends that understand what we do because they're not entrepreneurs, right? And so thinking that at the core, I created the Journey Club, which is a community of entrepreneurs that help to support each other along their journey of life and business, because the two are intertwined together. And as we've seen in the past, Billy, with apps like Clubhouse going down or apps like Instagram going down, and, Facebook groups are miserable to try to build a community. And because Facebook's algorithm determines what you see from that Facebook group, right? And so we're building this community in Discord. If you're not familiar with Discord, I refer to it as kind of like a Facebook group on steroids. So you see the notifications, you see what's happening, you can easily communicate with people, you can easily build relationships with people. And so we've been working on building that. And it's a metaverse community for entrepreneurs and creators is what it is. And we're focused on providing three core principles, if you will, are community first, content, and then coaching, and helping entrepreneurs along their journey. And so that's what it's about. We have coffee twice a week. I do a town hall once a week. Town hall is just kind of where I update people about what's going on in the community. We do coffee twice a week. Then we have a book club that we do once a week, where we're reading a book right now called Win in the Dark. We'll wrap that up this week, and they'll start a new book in September. And then we've got a masterclass series that we'll be doing every week. This is something new I put on our calendar yesterday. That's just going to be a kind of a topic. We're going to talk about a certain topic, to your point, about business or about life. And at depending on the level of membership, you'll get access to that. And then once a month, we do what we call an Explorer Day. And this is where we dive deep into a topic. Again, it's a certain level membership. Once you're at that level, then we'll spend a couple of hours together going over a topic. Our first one is September the 15th, I believe, or 14th, a Wednesday. And we're talking about digital storytelling and what do you do with storytelling. So that's what we're doing over there. And to answer the real question that I know you have, the entire community is powered by our cryptocurrency. It's called the Journey Coin. And it is something that we created. So depending on the number of coin that you purchase and hold determines the level that you are at inside our Discord server. And it's automatic.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's automatic. It automatically assigns your role and it knows, and then you get access to those channels and you get access to what we refer to in the world of cryptocurrencies, that utility.
Nice. All right. Yeah, man, I knew you were working on that. Maybe I should have bought some of it. Is it too late? Where do I go? What wallet do I need? How do I buy it?
I've been trying to get you to buy some for months. I even offered to give you a couple.
You did?
But
I did. Email.
I told you.
Was that in text message or email?
It's probably a text message. So it is a Solana-based cryptocurrency. So you need a Solana wallet, like a Phantom wallet is the one that we recommend. You use a Phantom wallet. You go to the Discord server and you click on that, click on the link, and then you can go to into an exchange and actually purchase the coin. You have to go to, let me see if I can tell you the website address, Billy. Hang on a second. Hang on, I just gotta look.
Yeah, no worries, man. And if anybody's just joining us, I got Keely joining us. She says, utility NFT, can we be best friends?
Well, Keely, it's nice to meet you. We do not have an NFT at the moment. We are exploring what NFTs mean. I actually have a consultant that I'm working with.
Non-fungible token.
Okay, I know that. Thank you, Mr. Crypto. But actually, I'm working with a consultant out of Boston to really think about what the future, long-term future of the Journey Club is, and where does an NFT fit? What's the utility? Is it transferable? We've been kind of toying around with the idea of a mastermind utility. So if you bought the NFT, and let's say we charged $5,000 for it or whatever the ETH appropriate or the Solana appropriate for that. And then that gave you access to a monthly mastermind for as long as you hold the NFT. This is one idea we're working on. But then there's the question of, well, what if, Bill, you buy one and then you sell it? What happens to the utility, to the seller? So we're kind of doing some brainstorming, workshopping through all of that. But I do believe we will have an NFT probably sometime in 2023. Yeah.
I vote that you make a utility of gourmet macaroni cheese dinner at your house once a year.
Yeah.
Or a trip on that private yacht with your friend. Like, can you make that happen?
I probably could actually, but I'm so glad you said a utility of something. I just thought you were going to say a utility that involved an interview or a meeting with Billy Thorpe. And I'm be like, I don't want to support that dude.
No, dude, 5K would not even touch a time with me. What are you talking? No, I'm just messing. So you were looking up how to.
Yeah. So so to buy, you need Solana in your wallet to do it. And then you need to go to gary.club/exchange. And with your Solana, you have to buy Gary coin. And then once you buy Gary coin, you can swap it for the Journey, JRNY coin. And I think we're at around 38 cents right now. I believe I'm looking at it as we speak, Billy. Let's see. Our coin is currently at 34 cents or 35 cents round numbers. So, and the maximum utility that we offer is 500 coins. And so if you take 500 times 35 cents, what is that? 500 times 0.35. That's 500 times 0.35. It's $175. For $175, you get basically a monthly mastermind around a certain topic, or we call it an Explorer Day. And then you get some of the other utilities of the lower levels as well. So right now, the highest level we have is 500. So.
Dude, very cool, man. Well, we'll have to have you back on again to talk about, like, how do you do that? What's been your experience doing that? Because I know, like, creating a coin and creating NFTs, I've not done that, so I can't speak from personal experience. But I can speak from talking to a bunch of other creators, and they're like, dude, this is a lot. This is a heavy lift. It takes a lot of work to make it happen. So I'd be curious of your experience in that journey. Some other time, not today. We don't have to
Yeah,
jump
we
into
won't.
it,
Yeah,
but
but what I will say about it is whether you're into cryptocurrency, you understand any of it, it is irrelevant, right? Come join us in our Discord server. We will teach you about all of that, but just come and hang out and meet creators. Come to one of our coffee sessions, come to our book club, come to our clubhouse rooms. We have clubhouse rooms 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. You'll meet me, you'll meet a lot of other creators, a lot of other entrepreneurs. And then we have coffee chats on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Don't go buy anything. Just come hang out in Discord and get to know us and see if we're a community for you. Because again, Billy, my entire focus is about supporting entrepreneurs along their journey of life and business. And that's what this is about. This is about building community. We got about 250 people there now. We'd love another 250 people to come and join. Not everybody's active. That just happens, right? But don't think about all the crypto. Just come join us. We're doing our town hall on Monday. It's at 3 o'clock Central Time, Monday afternoon. Coffee on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 o'clock Central Time on Tuesdays and Thursday mornings. And Clubhouse Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm a part of that. So what is, let's see, because we got...
The events aren't up there yet. I haven't put them up there yet, though.
I don't know where the comment went. Here it is. So Keely says she's been studying this, researching it, so please shout out your server name.
Yeah, I will. Keely, it's called the Journey Club. And Billy, is it okay? You can put in the chat. I'll get the invite and drop it in the chat real quick. Hang on a second.
Put it in the chat. If you're on Clubhouse, you can put it in the link. That way, if people listen to the replays, can check it out as well. And if you're just hanging out with us, we're about to wrap up here in a few minutes. But Sid and I just wanted to catch up, hadn't caught up, so we said, why don't we just catch up on a live stream? That'd be super fun. So I had him on the show and been talking about all kinds of stuff. So if you didn't catch the first part of the show, go catch it. A lot of good information about podcasting, growing your podcast, email list, and now we're on. He's into everything. I mean, I thought I was a busy guy, but you're into everything. Yachts.
I got something else I'm working on too. I haven't told you about yet, but we'll talk about that later. But Billy, I just put in the guest chat in Ecamm. I put the link to the Discord server, so you could drop it in the primary chat on YouTube or wherever. And
if I can find it, I will. I'll put it in the show notes after the show. Better yet.
Perfect.
That way it'll stay there forever.
But it's called the Journey Club is what it's called.
The Journey Club. Awesome, man. Well, dude, easy. I won't pressure you on air to tell me about this new project, but
not ready. It's cool though.
I'm happy, dude. I've been along of your journey, and so I'm really excited for the NFT project and the coin project and Discord stuff. I mean, I'm pretty pumped for you and I know you got some really good information, and I'm pumped for the Amazing Entrepreneurs Club to be a little bit more of Sid's voice. So no pressure, no pressure.
Hey, Billy, tomorrow, if you're a podcaster, tomorrow you should be there maybe at 6 a.m. Central Time.
I'm definitely not going to be there.
So tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Central Time, I'm going to be the head moderator in the podcast morning chat.
Okay.
And we're going to be talking about podcast marketing and best tips and new practices and new ideas, because as you know, podcast discovery and marketing is one of the biggest challenges that we have.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be talking about new ideas and ways that we as podcasters can market our shows and expand our reach. So that's tomorrow morning on Clubhouse at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
All right. I might try to be there to at least listen to it. That's I'm on dad duty, and 7 a.m. is full blast at our house. So
I can only imagine.
Yeah, man, that'll be a great conversation. And since I probably won't make it to the room, I'll give 2 tips right now. Pick a niche and don't suck. No, I'm just kidding.
That's not a new podcast. That's not a new. I'm looking for new marketing tips. Like
that is a new marketing tip. What are you talking about? Or you can just do this. Take your shirt. No, I'm just kidding. Get a tattoo on your
shirtless. Go shirtless on TikTok. What do they call that? There's a word they call that when you go
disgusting. Like I don't know.
Yeah, go shirtless on TikTok and tag your show. Everybody will go.
You just get a tattoo of your podcast artwork on your chest and just lift up your shirt. There you go.
Okay, I'm ready. Here we go. No, I'm just kidding.
I know you did that, Sid. I know you got.
I actually do have a couple of pieces of ink like you do, friend. So
hey, man. That's what I'm talking. Any of them that you regret? Or are you still like, I love both or all?
Well, when we were hanging out a lot and we were really close friends, I got a Billy tattoo. And when you started dissing me after you moved back and you threw me out, I mean, I actually have an appointment next week to have it burned off because it's just not as important to me anymore.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. All right.
That totally caught you off guard, didn't it?
I'm like, wait, I don't know if he's being serious or not. Sid does not kid. He is a serious dude. Look at him. He's wearing a button-up shirt, button down.
What's up, Drew? Around. Look, Drew's in the house. Hey, Drew, it's good to see you, buddy.
Drew. I don't know where my chat went, but good to see you, Drew. I'm gonna pull it up here in just a second. I don't know where it went. That's so funny. I'm actually going to be with Drew next week. I'm going to be with him next week. Going to be in Charlotte, speaking at a little podcast meetup there. And so it's going to be fun, man. I'm going to be talking about monetization. So I'm ready.
Well,
Drew. I'm ready.
I met Drew 2 years ago, and I actually got a picture with Drew. So maybe
2 years.
Yeah, 2 years ago it was. It was 20. Yeah, it was a year and a half ago. And I met Drew. Yep.
Are you going to Podcast Movement? It's right near your back door.
No, I'm not. I'm going to be at a mastermind event in Puerto Rico. I leave on Tuesday.
In Puerto Rico?
Yep. Going to Puerto Rico on Tuesday.
Oh, going down there with Gary?
Yes. I'll be at a mastermind group with about 50 other creators and entrepreneurs, and I leave on Tuesday. So, and that event is that same week. So,
gotcha. Nice.
That's okay.
Horrible planning, but good. No.
Well, but it might be good planning because it's supposed to rain, which is great. In North Texas, we need the rain. But it is supposed to rain every day next week. We're supposed to get up to 5 inches of rain next week, which is awesome. But I'm going to go where the sun is shining on an island. And so, yeah.
Dude, is that now you've been there before?
I've been there once before on vacation. Yeah. That was probably about 6 years ago, I think.
Yeah. So you're going to be in San Juan? Is that where you guys do the event?
We'll be in San Juan, staying there, going to our events like walking distance from our hotel. So, yeah, super looking forward to it. Honestly, what I'm really looking forward to is meeting the 50 people that I've been hanging out with for several months that I just only know either on Discord or Clubhouse.
So there's 50 people going.
I believe so. There's about 50 people going. Yep.
Now, is Puerto Rico still on lockdown? They still get the mask mandate and all that? They did when I left, so I wasn't sure. I would check into
I don't know.
I'll check into that.
I guess what you're telling me is I need to wear a mask. I need to take a mask.
I don't know. I mean, when we left, there was still a mask mandate. Well, it wasn't really, but it was like, where we were anyway, it was like, hey, you better be wearing a mask.
Well, maybe they lifted it when the person causing all of the contamination left. Maybe
when
they lifted
diseased white guy left. You're diseased. Get out of here.
Billy, it's been fun to catch up with you today, man. I know we're about the end of our show, but really enjoy the opportunity to catch up and see what's going on.
This is a 50-hour stream, bro. You don't know what you signed up for.
Okay, we're gonna have to take my earbuds out then because my ears are hurting.
Hope you brought a milk jug with you because you got to be on the whole time.
I got the floors perfectly positioned, no worries. So we could do like a Jerry Lewis marathon, Billy, and we could have a entertainer come on, and we can run to a bathroom break, and
we can have Johnny come on. We can have Johnny from back of the cereal box. He'd come on and do some magic. Dude, that would be fun to do a marathon podcast episode with all of our podcast friends. A live stream. That would be super fun.
Why?
I'm into it. Just because it's fun.
It would be cool.
And I bet I could get a sponsor or two for it.
Anyway. Yeah, but then you would keep all the money and not share it with the rest of us because that's how you roll.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm calling you out.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. I make all the monies from this show.
All the monies.
That's why I booted you. I got a sponsor and I booted you. Where's my sponsor at now? Oh, I don't have one. There's a story there. I'm not going to share it, but there is one. All right. Anyway, Sid, long distance high five. Thanks for being on the show. You've been better. You're getting better as a guest. So I just wanted to tell you that. It's your second comment.
I got to continue to get better at a guest so I can get back into the co-host seat.
Yeah. Right? This is like an audition. This is like the audition to get back. Yeah.
Okay.
If you could, so we'll see, man. My son is going to not daycare, but to preschool starting next week. I think next week or maybe a couple weeks. So I might have some more time to do some more shows. So yeah.
All right, let me know. I'm here.
This is an audition. All right, man. All right, I appreciate you, Sid. We'll talk to you later, man. Later. Thank you so much. All right, everybody, that is all for Creating Daily today. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to be back on next Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and I will not have a guest, but I will be breaking down some of the stuff I've been working on with Amazon Live and how I've been able to monetize it very quickly, and I'll kind of give you a 60-day update as much as I can within the parameters of my agreement with Amazon, and really just kind of show you a bunch of fun stuff I've been doing. Been having a ton of fun with it, but as you know, one of my goals is to help content creators monetize, and I think that this is going to be one of the better ways to do it. So join me next week, 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday, and then Thursday that sounded really country. Thursday, we ain't going to have no show, all right? So Thursday, there's going to be no show. I'm actually going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina, speaking at a podcast meetup. So if you want some more information on that, just follow me on social media, and you'll be seeing some promotional stuff here over the next couple days on my social media as I'm gearing up to go there and talk about how you can make more money as a content creator. All right. Anyway, go hit the record button, go hit the go live button, create something fun, create something great, and we'll see you next time.